wash on
making
adobe,
these.
mixed with salty sea air, filters through redwood and oak trees. It's the Santa Lucia standing there, and bipedals trot into the plaza.
Okay, so basically I made this set for a gentleman named Kurt, and it's a matching horsehair breast collar. I got the strings from Color for Cowgirl, matching breast collar and cinch. He saw mine at a show and liked mine. The thing about Kurt's setup is I don't think in his picture he had D-rings for a breast collar, and I believe he was talking about possibly putting the breast collar down here on his cinch D's, which these are not really designed for that, because if you look at the ring, the 3-inch ring that's on their breast up here, it doesn't have much room for this to kind of articulate. So you'd be kind of stretching the strings and doing that sort of stuff, where the idea is it's going to be more comfortable if this can lay flat on the horse. And as time goes on, as the horse wears it, it's going to felt this back side of it, and it's going to help all this lay flat. So all the weird shapes and contours you see in this, that's all going to relax as your horse rides it. And as it heats it up and sweats and sheds its hair on it. Typically, I would start this on a horse that right in January when they're shedding, but I'm using Chulo here as an example to show that you can put it on a horse that is shed out, and it's not the end of the world. They're not going to freak out. A horse like Echo would be fine. That's the horse who this is going on. Anyhow, Kurt's saddle doesn't have these D's on it. I don't want it to go here because it blocks their shoulder. It doesn't put the cinch or the breast collar in a good position. So in my opinion, which he kind of pushed me towards this since I wanted to do it anyway, that's the position I'd like a breast collar, more in line with the shoulder. And that's exactly what a pulling collar does. I've always liked pulling collars. So since his doesn't have these D's, I made these little retrofit dealies where he can put his breast collar up to here, or put those onto his saddle. So he can put his breast collar up to here and then attach it. Also, I left these extremely long. Echo's a big horse. Last thing I'd want is for it to get there and for it to not be long enough for him. So I went a little bit longer than what I normally would by like 4 inches, 5 inches. I put holes all the way to the bottom. Kurt, when you decide what length you want this, cut this little end off. Use that little, if you want this little end, just move it up there, trace it, and cut it with a razor knife. Be super easy. I like to make them long enough so you can tuck them back into this ring and have a couple inches right there. Not enough to where it's going to hang down, or if it does, it's only like that, like to my finger there. But you do whatever you want with that. That's fine. I just wanted to show you how these guys work to go around your pommel. So before I come on this side, before I attach this one, I'll kind of show you. It's easy to put on. It's not going to go straight on. That keeps it from pulling out. You need to do it like this. I set the bigger D right there at the pommel there. I can go to the front and get a picture of this. Okay, so I like the position the pulling collar D's put on this better than going down to here. It seems better to me. As you can see, it's not far off. If you need to shorten these, it's not hard to just cut that off and re-rivet it, move that up, re-rivet it. This is glued if you want to get cut like some, what's it called? Wood weld. And re-glue it before you rivet it, you can do that. It's a pretty simple thing to do at home. Before I end this, I do want to show there is bottom adjustment. When you clip this, make sure this always faces away from the horse and the nice round part is against them. And you do have adjustments in here with this. This tail just comes out and adjust to whatever length you need. Once you have it, tuck your tail in and clip it. So one thing you're going to notice when you get this breast collar, it's going to kind of have its own shape. You can kind of see it's kind of doing weird things here and there. For the most part, any variations you see in here, this is going to relax. This is going to stretch. The horse needs to wear it, needs to sweat, needs to shed some fur on the back of it, and it's going to help relax it. So when they're brand new, they're a little more stiff. As you use them for a while, they do soften up a lot. The horses will felt the back side of it. This is about a year, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. I don't know, maybe 2 years now. I have no idea. Anyhow, after using them for a while, they will felt up. This helps lock all the strings in. This makes it softer for the horse. And also, as they heat it and they use it, it flattens it all out. So as you can see, this doesn't have that weird little cupping and all that stuff. Now, any variations you see down here, they're going to stay. They're not going to go anywhere. This one has a tendency to twist like that, which obviously means I have a tight string somewhere in here pulling this up. But that was my bad. But anyhow, that's part of handmade gear. I think I did a pretty good job making this one pretty straight. Lays pretty flat. So he should be pretty good. He just got to get this on his horse and start getting him to sweat in it so he can get all these weird little lumps and bumps and all that stuff out of there. So just make sure you fit it to your horse right so it will actually do that. Make sure you're going to have a tendency as you're wanting to fit it to put these shoulders so they fit. Make sure there's room here. Like this right here to me is a little bit loose. I'm sorry, a little bit tight. I'd probably loosen that up a bit so that when this horse extends his leg, where's that at? So when this horse extends his leg, he's not pulling this breast collar up and then pulling the saddle forward. So this is where I get to play to let them do that. But this, I want this to fit pretty good right there. And then you give him play in this. So as I'm riding this with him, as this relaxes, this will probably go up a little bit higher, one more notch on each side, bringing this to about here, letting those lock in. And then this will probably come out one more. Just make sure you tuck your little tail in down here. That's why I put this little square keeper down here, so you're not tickling your horse.
California.
You want to ride him before I take the tack off?